Hey, it's David from 123daytrade.com. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. So, when do you move to break even? This is the conundrum, right? It's the being on the winning side of a trade and then moving to break even, and then it comes and takes you out to only go and march its merry way after that. And the other side is, how far do you place your stop in the market that it's far enough away that it stays away and doesn't get hit, but not so close that it's going to get hit every time. So in other words, the fluctuation of the market is going to take you out if you're too close, right? So I mean, ideally, if you could run with a one tick stop in a market, and there was a guy that used to, this is years ago, he would trade the big S&P with a one tick stop, and he would get in the trade. Oh man, there's no way he made money, because it would hit that one tick stop all the time, and he would call himself the king of trading and all kinds of things that, me being me, I would say, just like you guys call me out sometimes, yeah, you're full of crap, right? So my channel has been dedicated to the pursuit of excellence, pretty much, if I look at it from one side. On the other side, it's been dedicated to how much pain does David, me, have to go through before he kind of like, hey, you know what, this is what you need to do. And when I look at my overall trading, when I think about what I've done in the past and how I can improve upon it, and how many times do you have to run into the proverbial brick wall until you figure out, hey, that's kind of painful, I shouldn't be doing that. Like, the crude oil market is just, it's a double-edged sword. And it's an honest to God double-edged sword. It always has been since I've been trading it, and it always will be until, I guess, we move off of we get free energy, right? Magnetic power, wind power, solar power. We don't need to fuel our cars with oil. But until that happens, which this is going to be a good tradable market. So how far do you move to break even? I've toyed with this idea. When do you move to break even? I have toyed with this idea longer than I care to admit to. I've been trading 30 years of my life, and I still trade on the long-term front. Thank God I still make money as a long-term trader. I don't showcase any of that, because I believe that you can learn how to long-term trade from anybody pretty much. Follow the system, throw darts on the wall, and pick a stock that's doing well with good earnings. Buy it on the dips, boom. Long-term strategy, buy and hold, right? It's not rocket science when you're talking long-term strategy about how you buy stocks long-term and hold them. If you buy Google when it first came out, and all these other crap that, I remember Yahoo when I picked up that, and Krispy Kreme donuts when I picked that up, and made boatloads of cash back then when I would buy and hold. But day trading is that it's been the nemesis for me, and that's why I like it, and it's why I pursue it, and it's why I love it so much, because you can see with each thing that you do that you're progressively getting better, and then you'll take a step back and you'll say, all right, now what did I do here? And then you'll go and you correct that, and then you start going up again, and then you make another mistake, and then it's just this constant battle. Now, me personally, I've been at Top Step Trader as a trader on and off for, 4.5 years now. I'll be 5 coming up in August, I guess. And I've been I've been told I've been in funded 9 times. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I know it's 7 for sure. But I've been told I've been in 9 times. Yeah, that's 9. And I've taken money out, and but the good news is that I've limited my loss. So it comes back to break even. There's I don't have a problem when I'm in a winning trade. I don't think any of us, for the most part, have a problem when we're in a winning trade. You know, it's that the first adage of trading, though, is to cut your losses short. But you can cut your losses too short, is what I'm going to get at right now. So in other words, what am I saying? So if you have a valid trade setup and you believe in it, for instance, today, all I had to do, instead of losing 14 ticks on the one trade that I was in, is just put my stop above the high of the session, even if it was by 1 tick, and I would have stayed in the market. It would have only, you know, I've written about this before and I've done videos on it. Penny wise, dollar foolish. But my 1R stop today was 13 ticks. I took 1 tick slippage on my entry point, and and it went straight to. And how many times has this happened to you? It went straight to my stop, and it didn't go any further past it, and then it went down for the rest of the day. But if you look to the left just a little bit, not the right edge, because the right edge is where the unknown is. But if you look back at the left edge with the known stuff, all I had to do was move a couple ticks higher, and it would have stayed into my 1R. Now, if you don't know what I believe in 1R, 1R for me pretty much in the crude oil market is 20 ticks. I don't want to lose, at least at Top Step Trader, I don't want to lose more than 20 ticks in any given trade. So if my 1R is 20 and I think, wow, I'm getting a bargain here at 13, 14 ticks, but still, if I would have moved, instead of getting stopped at, I don't know where I got stopped at, but let's just say it was like 84 and the high was 86. I believe that, I don't know what the high was. Anyway, it was 2 ticks away from where I was. But if I would have placed my stop just 1 tick higher than the high of session, then I stay in the trade. But it's these little things, you know, I follow my spreadsheet. My spreadsheet has kept me sane over the years of being able to, you know, more times than not, when I do catch a big winning trade, it's for 70, 80, 90, you know, some good numbers. I've pulled out some really cool, really big trades, and I've documented that on my website. So, and I've documented it at YouTube. I mean, you've seen them. They've been, but the other side of that is that I think even somebody wrote about getting cut with 1,000 cuts, and the 1,000 cuts comes back to your, like today. Today is one of those trades that all I had to do to win 44 ticks today was just place the trade and just have a 3p profit target against a 1R stop. Keep it out at 20. So 20 ticks to go get, I think it was 44 was 3p today. So 44 to 20. But the market ends up going to about 30 ticks during the session. And what I can say about it is 1p, pretty much I think it was 15, 16 ticks today, was my 1p. So I believe in what I call, you know, a P versus R. When the market moves my direction, I want to come to break even, and so when I did re-enter that trade, I got stopped out at break even because it comes back and it goes a little bit deeper. But if I hold a little bit, if I don't go to break even so quick, and this has been a nemesis for so long. How do you handle it? How do you handle when you move to break even? Because there's a lot of things you got to think about when you're trading at Top Step Trader. You can't trade, honest to goodness, if you trade that second contract at the 30K and you lose both of them at 20 ticks a pop, then you're down 40 ticks. You're done for the day. But what I know is that if I go at 20 ticks and I lose, so my thought process right now is I want to make the loss hurt a little bit. So not be extremely painful, but I want it to hurt. I want to hurt enough that I don't say, like today when I lost 14 ticks, says, I'll just get it back on the next trade. And in other words, it didn't bother me to get knocked out at 14 ticks on that stop loss. Well, and 20 would have kept me in. But there's been other trades that I look back and I think, well, what it it's a tough. Trading is not easy. It's never been easy. At least day trading has never been easy for me. It's just one of those things that I look back and I think that it's just little small changes that you make in your trading, and it starts to accumulate dollars. But at other times, the market is just, and it was. I mean, I look back at today, and I believe in what the highest volume bar didn't actually change to the other side until later in the session, until the market went underneath or got close to pivot, I believe, in the session on the crude oil futures market today. So the other side of this is, if you believe in your trade, why even move to break even? Why even worry about break even until conditions of the market change? If you're strong enough to believe that this trade is a valid trade setup, then why move to break even at all? So allow the market to do its thing, and if it goes against you and knocks me out at my 1R, 20 ticks in this case, as long on the other side I'm taking out more on my winning side than when I lose that 20 ticks, as long as I believe in my setup. So the trade setup is what it's going to come down to, for me at least. So that my initial trade sequence that I put together is for the most part my best trade setup that I have thought through, that I have debated about, and I put together. When the wheels start to fall off is when I start adding to trying to get back into something that I believe was a valid setup, and it just keeps rocking me out. And like today, it rocks me out at 13 ticks a pop, and before you know it, -3 is down 39, right? Plus one more on slippage, I'm at -40. Where I stay at, if I, today, a day like today, I go at my 1R stop and I pull 40, I would have pulled 44 ticks out of the market, or at minimum 30 ticks out of the market today. So 30 by 20 isn't that great, because, well, and why is that not great? Well, right now the ADR has tightened in. So if you look back at the last 9 trading days, the ADR is underneath 2.0 right now, and that's when it gets tough to trade. When you're underneath the 2.0 mark, at least when I look at my trading and I go back and look, where I win more than lose, it's because the market, the volatility of the market rewards me quicker. And so it moves faster, it moves deeper, quicker. When the volatility isn't as high, like a trading day like today, then perhaps that's when you have to just almost place the trade and honestly forget about it. You place your profit target, you place your stop loss, and then you just allow the market to meander its own way, because honestly that's what it's going to do anyway. So my question, if you want to answer, is how do you move to break even? What kind of conditions make you say this is where I believe break even is? I know where I believe break even is, and now I've got a better condition in front of me when I believe I want to move to break even, or when I want to go against that 1R, in this case a 20 tick stop, and allow the market to, in other words, make it a little painful. And so that, therefore, if I'm wrong, I might as well be wrong at my maximum 1R in this low volatility market than the other side of this, where I'm just trying to get in and just take a day like today where I give back all the gains I've made, and I'm starting back at even again. I've done this over and over again. This is something new. This is this has been, when I look back at my trading, it's always in low volatility that kicks my ass. I mean, I was looking at the markets when I was on the road, and they were going dollar move here, dollar move there, and then you come back here and I start trading, and then it's low volatility. So it's like, damn, you know, but I want to trade. I want to trade, and at least I'm in an environment that it's safe right now. At Top Step Trader, I got a fixed cost, right? I'm only losing my investment of $150 and maybe one reset on a rolling 30-day period of time, and that's the benefit, I guess. And instead of having a futures account open and losing a couple thousand, how is that going to make me feel? I know how it made me feel in the past when I wasn't, you know, in positional trading, and some of the other trading is a little bit easier to do, right? Swing trading, positional trading, you got a set loss limit that you have, and you have your set profit target that you're after, and you have your setups that you believe in. Day trading is not like that. Every day is brand new. As good as you were trading the day before, you can screw up all the day. So where do you find, for me, where do I find the strength to continue to move on? Yeah, I've taken breaks over the years to reevaluate some of the things that I do, but you know, you can look back and you can say, well, this is the change I got to make, and then you make that change, and then something else. It's like that kid that you know, was that the dike, then they're putting the fingers all over the place trying to keep back the water. It's kind of like that sometimes. You plug one hole only for another hole to come out on the other side, and you stretch yourself too thin. It is what it is. But I believe that the challenge for me is to continue to grow and to keep getting better. And I see the growth in my discipline over the years. I see how I to know that you're so close. I mean, that's probably why I keep coming back to the well, as I know that I'm very close. To know when to walk away, right? The other side of this is that you know you have a loss limit with Top Step Trader, at least on 30K account, at 500. You don't want to go above that. It stops you from trading, and it basically protects my sanity, because I can say, well, there's always tomorrow. You know, I can always go after tomorrow, and I've always believed that I can get back 30 to 40 ticks on the next trading day. All I need is the right trade setup and the market to do its thing. So now it's just a matter of just letting the small stuff not bother me so much. So in this case, the small stuff is break even on a low volatility market. Let's not worry about the small stuff. Let's let the market do its thing. And if you believe in your trade setup, until conditions change, in this case, if high blue bar volume for me tells me I want to be short, well, then what I need to see is a volume bar higher than the blue bar. So in this case, what I would say a red bar, I need to see more buying coming into the market that's proving to me that down, at least temporarily, is over, and then it's time to tighten into break even or take profits. There's some wisdom in this talk that I had with you today. Hopefully you caught it. This is Dave Knight here from 123daytrade.com. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. We'll see you on the next video I put together. Bye for now.